Hello, welcome to Scrap Time. My name's Christine, and in this video I'm going to be showing you the Tonic craft kit. This is kit number 50 and it's called Give It a Twirl. So we're going to do a little unboxing. So in here we'll have our dies, and here we'll have our little embellishments, and this is our paper. So let's first look at our dies and our stamps. So we have some flower stamps, and the dies are going to be little flowers. You'll turn them and they're going to be like little sort of quilled flowers. It looks like there's two that are stripped. These will cut out as a twirl. We have some frames, and then we have a die. Enjoy the little things. That's what it says. Enjoy the little things. I'll cut it out so we can actually see it. And this looks like a really pretty border. So some really cute dies, little flower stamps. Now my favorite thing is always, what embellishments are we going to get from Nuvo this time? So this will be helpful. It's a quilling tool, and that's how we're going to make those flowers, and I'll do a little demo with that. We have an assortment of little gems, and as I mentioned before, the great thing about getting kits is that you get like a smaller amount of things. Sometimes if you have a whole bottle, it takes a long time to go through, and this way you get to try out a bunch of things. So little gems, a little glacier paste. So again, in the small size, so that's fun. Crystal drops, we have morning dew. It looks almost like a little clear drop. This probably is being morning dew. We have a few markers this time. This one is Desert Sage, French Navy, and Black Cherry. And then in the hybrid ink, I have Rich Rosewood. I'm not sure if everyone will get this color. Sometimes a lot of these inks come in sets of 3, so sometimes you might get a different color. But I got Rich Rosewood. And now the paper. Tonic has a great variety of papers because you get everything from the cardstock to the handmade papers. So speaking of, here's a handmade paper in this really sort of pretty, it's a blue, but it's like sort of shiny metallic-y blue. We have a cardstock. Here's a pearlescent paper in this really pretty red. Very autumny. Here is another blue. Here you can see there's a little bit of a linen texture to it. A nice green in that same texture. A lighter green. Another pearlescent in that dark blue. Ooh, here's the mirror card. And then we got, they're double-sided. So one is sort of leaves, one are dots. Ooh, look how pretty this is. We have two of them out. You can see the gradation of the colors from light to dark. That's really pretty. That could make interesting flowers. I'll be sure to cut one from that. Is it? I think they're double-sided. Oh, here the gradation on this side goes from the long way bottom up versus the short way there. So it depends which way you want to use it. And then I'll pull out, I've been piling up the papers just so you can see them as a whole. So there is the color palette of all the papers. And you've got your coordinating markers, inks. Always fun to get a tool because you can use that over and over. Your drops, some jewels, and then of course our dies and our stamps. So it looks like a fun kit, and within seconds, I'll be showing you what I made and some demos using the tools. Ta-da! Here are the 2 cards I made. So this first card, what I did was I took a tag that I had previously done all this painting on, and I just simply stamped the flower with my ink and added a few of the little flowers on it. And I used the glacier paste with a stencil in the background just to fill in the space there. So that's like a real simple way you can use them. And then for this card, I used the frame. Now, this is about 6 inches. So typically I like to fold my paper in half and cut it. But because I couldn't do that with this to make the card, what I did is I cut 2, but then on the back piece, I put that score line there. So the card opens, but you don't have any scoring up here on the top. So that's another way you can make these decorative cutout cards without just folding the paper. You just cut 2 and score 1 of them. And then here you can see a couple of the different types of flowers. I really like this one with the little petals and the little like sort of cabbage roses. I cut out Enjoy the Little Things, and then I added some of the little jewels on for decoration. And then the other 2 flowers, I didn't use them in my projects, but I made them so you can see what they look like. Now with these bigger flowers, I want to just show you something. So when I first rolled it, I used this tight, the little one, and you can see how the petals are all on top of one another. So before you glue it down, you want to shift them around. But when I did these ones, I used the bigger end, and it allowed the petals to sort of spread out a bit more. And then before I glued it, I just sort of got them into place. So you can see how pretty. And here I used that pearlescent paper. So again, you can see how pretty it is with the pearlescence. So I'm going to show you how to make the flowers. This is one of the little sort of cabbage roses. So I used for them, you can use both ends if you want a larger one, but I used the smaller end. And I went here, and there's a tiny little slit in the end. So you can see there, I put, oh, it fell out. I put it through the slit. And then you just start rolling. And you're rolling into the flower. And this is how you make all of them. It doesn't matter which one it was. So that's why I was saying with the larger flowers, you might want to use the larger end. So I'm going to roll this, and then I'm going to show you something else once it's rolled. So when I'm initially rolling it, I try to roll it fairly tight. And this little circle here on the end, that's going to be your glue point. So I've rolled it, and then you just pull it off. So this little bit will get folded, and that's where you'll be applying your glue. So you can see there, you have a tight little flower. Can you see it? My fingers. A tight little flower. But if you don't want it that tight, you let it go. And now you can like unroll it a bit, and you can then make a larger flower. So you decide before you put the little glue down how big you want your flower. Now I've been using the Nuvo Deluxe adhesive, and I find that it will dry fairly quick for the initial thing and hold it in place. So I just put a little bit of glue there. And then I'm just putting that bottom like that. And what I will do is I'll just hold it just for that initial bond, and then I put it aside. And then when I was working on these ones, initially they're all up. I gave them a day. I made all my flowers a day in advance because I wanted to make sure the glue was dry before I started like putting down the edges and working with the flowers. But it will dry enough to hold. But then I'll just put it aside. And the one other thing I just want to show you is with these big ones, what I did is I took the big end and I just used it to twist the tips of my flowers, and that's how I got them to be folded over like that. So there's lots you can do with these flowers. You can use them all year round. I mean, right now with the holidays, if you made them out of like red and different like festive colors, they could be festive, they can be spring, fall, what have you. So this is a great kit because you'll be able to use it all year long. Flowers are always in season. So I hope you enjoy it, and you can check out the Tonic Craft Kit on their site. Thanks for watching. Be sure to give our video a thumbs up and subscribe to Scrap Time Videos on YouTube. In the meantime, here are a couple other videos you might be interested in watching. See you next time. Bye-bye.